This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.
Now, you have seen, I have seen, we've all seen on social media over the last couple of months these paedophile hunter groups tracking down a suspected paedophile after setting up these fake accounts. The person in question believes they're talking to a 13 or a 14-year-old, believes that they're on their way to meet this person. But the Gardaí have basically warned that these vigilante groups, because that's what they are doing more harm than good. And that's what I want to talk to you about on 6797981. Text or WhatsApp us 0877 98 98 98. My question to you is, do you believe that these paedophile hunter groups are a necessary evil? Or are they causing more harm than good, simply creating witch hunts against these people? I'm joined on the line by somebody that I'm told to refer to as Irish Hunter. Emerald Hunters Ireland. Why do you not give your name as a matter of interest?
We don't give our names because we have to protect our own identities, as well as we're protecting kids as well.
Why do you have to protect your own identities if what you're doing is so right?
Well, we don't have to if we don't want to, but we feel what we should do, because we all, at the end of the day, we have kids too. You know what I mean? We've got homes to live in. We don't need some of the families who we have dealt with and stung before, who have tried to smash windows in family homes who have kids as well.
Okay, why? I described groups like your own as vigilante groups. How do you respond to that title?
Well, first of all, I think, Adrian, you're completely wrong calling us a vigilante, because a vigilante runs around with baseball bats. They run around with knuckle dusters. They take out. They do punishment beatings. We don't. We walk around. We show our faces. My group show all our faces. We don't hide our faces.
Okay, let me tell you the definition of the word vigilante before you start correcting me on it. A vigilante is a member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority. Nothing to do with baseball bats. It's people who take the law into their own hands.
Taking the law into their own hands? Well, I don't agree with whatever that says, because I know we're not vigilantes. We're all concerned parents who are out there stinging paedophiles. Well, we can't call them a paedophile until they're tried in court, so we're going to say predator. And that's what we do. And why we do it is because all the people in this country, and the UK and Ireland, agree with what we do.
Okay, another part of the definition of a vigilante is people who do this without legal authority, typically because the legal agencies are thought to be inadequate. Do you believe the police authorities in the Republic, in the North, in the UK are inadequate?
Yeah. To my opinion, they don't do enough. They don't do enough. Like as you're saying, you're calling teams vigilantes. We're not vigilantes. And sorry, I find it difficult to refer to somebody as Irish Hunter, but anyway, you are by the definition of what a vigilante is. No, we're not. We're out to protect kids. That's what we're doing, and that's what we'll continue to do. They're trying to shut teams down all over the UK and Ireland. They'll not be shutting any teams down. They'll not shut my team down anyway, because I'll continue to do what I'm doing. Because if you put a poll on your station today and ask all the people in Ireland and the UK, what would they rather have? Would they rather have the hunters get these people off the streets and get them in jail, which is hard to do at the minute because the guards and the PSNI, they're not interested. All they want to do is move them from one home to another so they can go back online and continue to predator on children. But sure, as you say, people are calling us vigilantes. You know what I mean? We're not vigilantes. I know what you're saying the definition of a vigilante is, but we don't believe we're vigilantes. We believe that we're concerned parents who are doing the right thing and going out, stinging these people to protect children.
Have you ever got it wrong?
Ever got it wrong?
Yeah, have you ever got the wrong person?
No.
No.
I haven't.
Okay, let me ask you why the need with various groups in tackling somebody and broadcasting it live on Facebook as you're doing it. What's the point in that? What's the point in it? Yes.
Well, as you can see yourself, at the present in time, the police and the guards and the courts are doing nothing about it. They're right. Once we go live on them, it's about exposure. Because at the end of the day, they're good enough
but sorry, I'm asking why you do it live. Why can't you even just record it as evidence? In other words, what I'm getting at is, it is the belief of many that this is done for likes and shares, to get videos shared widely. Why, if if you're looking for evidence and proof, why don't you just record your interaction with the person rather than broadcasting it live on Facebook?
Because, in my opinion, the reason that it's done live is to expose the predator for what he is, which is a dirty nonce, and they deserve to be exposed. Because at the end of the day, my personal opinion, and the whole of the country's opinion, is that they deserve to be exposed because people need to know what's living around them and who their kids are being around.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that, okay? But the concern is that you, by your actions, and not just your group, other groups, could be jeopardizing court cases. So it's one thing to try and convict somebody on Facebook Live. It's quite another matter to have them convicted in a court of law. And that's what we want. We want these people locked away. We want them taken out of circulation. A Facebook Live video isn't necessarily going to do that.
Well, if you say that, that's fair enough. Well, the courts and the Garda and the PSNI, when you have these guys and we have all the chat logs in front of them, the first thing they're going to look at, we let them receive the chat logs. They know it themselves. Then they admit that they've done wrong. 95% of them, I'm sorry. I couldn't give a damn with what they're saying about them being sorry. They're only sorry because they're being caught.
Okay, do me a favour. Stay on the line there for 1 second because I have to take a very quick break. 6797 981 is our phone number. Paula, you're on 98FM. How are you, Paula?
Hiya, Adrian. I just want to say, first of all, I want to say congratulations to the Emerald Hunters. I think they're doing a brilliant job and I follow them all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm getting the impression, maybe it's just me, but I'm getting the impression that you're kind of ridiculing that chap.
I'm not ridiculing. The only thing I have done is said, and I stand over this, that these groups are vigilante groups. They mightn't go around kneecapping people. They mightn't, be doing punishment beatings up the mountains. But they are vigilante groups. They are taking the law into their own hands.
No, Adrian, the way the world is going nowadays, if you have children, and I know you have children, right, but they're not at that kind of younger age.
No.
You have to watch out for everything.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Right, now I
However, sorry Paula, excuse me for 1 second, hang on.
Yeah.
The guards in there have said that they believe, okay, if somebody is a paedophile and if somebody is abusing a 13-year-old child, that person deserves to be locked up and have the key thrown away. Yeah?
Yeah.
My worry is, and the guards' worry is, that by these groups acting in the way they're acting, they're actually jeopardising these guys actually being imprisoned.
Yeah, but hang on. By the time the guards get to them, I was watching a sting there one night. A sting is where they catch them, right?
Yeah.
And it took the guards over 2 hours. Now, this was in Dublin. Over 2 hours to get to the place where the chap was. And then, them Emerald Hunters had to stand there and they had to watch the chap. They had the video cameras on him and all so that nobody would go near him. And they did tell neighbours and all, go away from his house, please leave him alone, you'll ruin everything. And have you ever sat down and watched it?
I have watched a couple, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you watch it from start to finish, like I watch it, but I forward the bits of whatever the man is saying to them because that turns my stomach, right? But this business of vigilantes is a load of crap. Because if the guards got there quicker or whatever like that, I'm not saying there's enough manpower for them to get there quicker, but if the vigilantes, vigilantes.
But that's what they are. No, keep using the word, Paula.
No, hang on.
Keep using the word because that's what they are.
No, that was a slip of the tongue because
it's an accurate slip of the tongue. It's an accurate slip of the tongue.
No, it's not inaccurate. It's what you were saying. It's what you were saying.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to read this again. A vigilante is a member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority.
But hang on a second. They're undertaken, right? All they do is stand at the people and talk to them and say to them, they don't manhandle the people. They don't push them and say, get in there or have guns around to their heads. They don't do anything like that. They are actually protecting our children. We should be grateful for what they're doing. We should be actually kissing their feet for what they're doing for us. Now, I know your children are older, and if your children were younger, maybe you'd have a different frame of mind about it. But I don't believe this business of vigil. If they were vigilantes, they would just take them up the mountains and do what they had to do. But they're not. And they put an awful lot of hard work into it. There's people on that show who actually drive 2 and 3 hours from the country all the way up here to do a sting, to catch somebody that could ruin a child's life. And they have a cheek, people have the cheek to say they're vigilantes. Well, I would call him Donald Duck if he ended up helping my child.
Stay there for a second. Let me go to Michelle. You're on 98 FM. How are you, Michelle?
Hi, Adrian. How are you?
Michelle, tell me about somebody that you know and what happened to him the other night.
I just want to ask the Emerald Hunter guy. I could use the
but this guy's from Irish Hunters, or you're not the same.
Emerald,
are you the same as? Sorry, Mr. Irish Hunter. Again, I have a huge problem describing you as that. But anyway, what group are you with?
Emerald Hunters, Ireland.
Oh, sorry, you are with Emerald Hunters. Okay, Emerald Hunters. Yeah,
the
go on.
The other night there was a post put up of a man, no sting, no video evidence, no nothing. These guys went to a house in an estate that this man had never lived in. They knocked on doors. They terrified the residents. They claimed they were run out in a van. That man's life has been absolutely destroyed. I've seen screenshots of conversations between that man and other people where there was other addresses, umpteen amount of addresses for this man. They banged on that man's sister's door who had not lived there in 10 years. Everybody on that page branded all of us, the residents in that estate, paedophile protectors. I have 4 daughters.
Sorry, Michelle, what estate are we talking about? Because I'm having other calls coming in about this.
An estate in Rathfarnham.
In Rathfarnham, okay. How's the estate?
This man is a local man in Dublin. There was no video evidence. There was not one thing put up. I admire them. I've seen some of the Justice Reborn pages, everything. They do it properly. They video themselves walking into the person's garden. They tell you when they're going, this is John Paul, whoever we're going after. He's been online. We're going to knock at his door now. They didn't do it this way. This man put that picture up when questioned, and when people started, they weren't defending a man who was potentially a paedophile. If it comes out that he did do it, hang him up, and I don't care what they do to him. But you do not ruin an innocent man's life, potentially innocent man's life, for nothing.
Okay, sorry, and again, this was the Emerald Hunter group.
It was.
Okay. Let me tell you something here and now. The group that we went into an area. We were provided stuff.
Hang on. Michelle, just let him speak. Sorry, go on, Irish Hunter, go on.
We went into the area because you see the predator that you have living down that area.
He's not living in that area. That's the point.
Yeah,
he is not living. He has hang on a second. He has never. I live in that area my whole life.
So he never lived there. He never ever lived there.
He hasn't. No, his sister lived there. He has never lived there.
Right. You see what you just said? His sister lived there. Right. His sister lived there. That's the address that we were given by him through his chats to a real 13-year-old child who he asked for sex, asked for a blowjob, asked to have the child with him to have sex in his house. That's the way we went there. That's the reason why we went there. And I'll defend my team because at the end of the day, our team go to places what the predator give us.
Okay, so hang on, Michelle.
Hold on, Adrian. I also reinstated, which was talked to me by members of his family who have been liaising with me. And also, we put the post back on the page and we took down what we had said about the community protecting the paedophile. And yes, there was a white van with a green stripe pulled up and asked us to leave the area. And one of the guys was 6'3". Okay.
You took down the post and everybody from that
No, sorry, we didn't take down the post. The post was reported and Facebook gave us a notification because it was bullying.
Okay, Michelle, hang on for 1 second. I just want to get this clear for our listeners. This group came to a house in Rathfarnham the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Looking for a particular man. But you say they've destroyed who? Whose life have they?
His whole family.
The whole family, okay. But this particular... Sorry, hang on for 1 second. This particular man, Michelle, doesn't live there and hasn't lived there for a long time.
Never lived there.
Okay,
no,
it's never lived there. Right, okay,
there.
fine.
My sister
Hang
lived
on.
there with her own family.
Okay.
And she hasn't lived there in 10 years.
Okay, now, sorry, you're saying they arrived on the door of somebody who has nothing...
Adrian, get your
Hang
facts
on,
right.
wait for a second.
It's nothing even to do with that family.
At his door, because that's not where he lives.
Now, hang on a second. No, let me tell you something now.
Okay, hang on. Irish Hunter, I'm just cutting you off for a sec because I want just a one-way conversation here. Sorry, go on, Michelle.
He changed his story about 25 bloody times the other night. In one video, he put a video up where he's gone across the M50 saying they've been ran out of the estate. They knocked on a door and the dog was at the window and they know someone was in and the dog was called away from the window. I personally mailed him. And I asked him on the page, what was the story with the dog? Was the dog called away from the window? The story changed 4 times. Oh no, the dog wasn't pulled away from the window. The dog just went missing from the window. There's not even a dog in the bloody house. He mailed family members and asked them, does your uncle have a dog? Does your brother have a dog? To fill the information on this. He also posted a picture.
So sorry, Michelle, again, what you're saying is this particular group of vigilantes picked on a house that had nothing whatsoever to do with that man that they're chasing or that family at all.
Exactly. And if you're given an address, if that's the address he was given, do your bloody research and don't go into
We done our bloody research because we know the address.
Okay, sorry, just let it. Hang on. Okay, Michelle.
That's nothing to do with that family.
Okay, Irish Hunter. This is the risk and this is the danger of people taking the law into their own hands with these.
Let me tell you something, Adrian, before you rant on me. Right? I was on
groups.
your show before, and let me tell you something. See, when the predator gives out the information that we have, that's where we go to. We didn't knock on the door.
Why didn't you do a video?
Are you going to shut your fucking mouth?
Sorry, Irish Hunter, if you're going to use language like that, I'm not prepared to even have a conversation with you. If that's the sort of person that you are, that you can't control your mouth.
We went to a door. We went to the door and we showed the picture and we asked, did anybody know this predator? Because that's the name on the address that he gave us in the chat. We aren't the only team that has him, by the way. There's about 12 decoys on this chap. Okay? 12 decoys. That's 12 children. And the youngest goes as 9 years old.
You went to the door. Did you get an answer on the door?
No, we didn't get an answer on that door. We went to another door. And they knew who he was.
So you're knocking on other people, and you're tarnishing.
You see, can I tell you, Irish Hunter, if you arrived at my door and asked any questions about anything to do with a paedophile or a child abuser, I'd slam the door right in your face. How dare you knock on the door? If you have your facts right, how dare you knock on the wrong door?
We didn't knock on the wrong fucking door.
Well, sorry, can I just tell you, this conversation is now over. If you are the sort of person who can't have a conversation without using bad language on daytime radio, for God's sake.
We went to the door.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you went to the door.
We went to the door because that was the address that he gave us. Okay? If the predator's given us that address, we sat in our cars at that address. We didn't even knock the door of the exact address that he gave us because we knocked on their door and said, excuse me, could you tell us where this man lives?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
And that's what they said.
Okay, so you have an address of an alleged abuser or an alleged paedophile or an alleged groomer.
That's the right address. If you want us, we'll go and sting him tonight if you want to.
The question I was about to ask you is, if you have all this information, you have the address, why didn't you ring the guards in Rathfarnham and say, will you get your arse down here?
I wouldn't give the guards the time of day at the minute.
There you go.
All they're doing, Adrian, at the minute is, no matter how many teams go down over the border or up in the north or over in England, all the authorities are doing, they're taking the chat logs, they're setting them in a file, and they're pushing them to send the predator, going home, we'll talk to you again. That's what they're doing. And everybody's wondering why the whole nation of everybody's children are going mad. And now, to see when the authorities, if the authorities work with us, maybe, and a small maybe, that the teams would turn around and listen to them. Now, we've done this thing, right? I'm not going to mention names because I can't. And we done another thing before went to do that one, a week before. And the Garda themselves, in Dublin, turned around and asked 4 teams to come down and learn them how to get the predators out quicker because they don't know how to do it.
Right, stay there for a second. Nuala, you're on 98 FM. How are you? Hello, Nuala.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hiya.
What did you want to say?
Well, that's actually a friend of mine's house that they knocked on.
Okay.
And how come that person has moved out 10 years? How come they didn't get that right?
Because they're taking the word of somebody...
Adrian, I'm not cutting that lady off. Nuala, we didn't knock on your friend's door because we didn't knock on the door.
Well, how could you say there was a dog in the window?
Because there was a dog in the window sitting barking.
There wasn't a dog in the window. She hasn't got a dog. That woman lives there on her own and terrified to go to bed on Saturday night because of you.
The house here, you must be talking about a different house because we stood and there was a wee white Jack Russell in the window barking like mad when we were standing outside. That's the house I went to. I didn't go to the exact address that the predator gave us because we had suspicions. We asked a couple of neighbours and they identified his face. Then we were told...
Well, he has never lived in that estate. Never.
So the address that he gave us is what he said his family lived in.
So any predator could give anyone's address, and this is what's going to happen.
That's exactly. Really, see, this is exactly the point that I was trying to. Hang on for 1 second. Sorry, Steve. Irish Hunter.
We were told terrified on Saturday.
Okay, can I just say,
my friend lives in that house, and she was terrified.
Okay, here's the thing that I have a huge issue with. Okay, if I wanted to set somebody up for a big fall, if I wanted to manipulate a group like yours to pick on somebody in the wrong house and to maliciously target them, I'd be able to do that tomorrow. That's the point.
Because you wouldn't, Adrian, because you're not on it. You're not a predator on a child site, taxing children, sending pictures of yourself. Tell them.
Well, I have to say, before this, I admired what you were doing.
But and what's changed, Nuala?
Well, to think that
I never heard you there. What did you say?
Before this, I admired everything that you were doing. I'm all against pedophiles and everything else. But to think that you could knock on an elderly woman's door, well, to be at and she was told then when she came home that this all happened outside her door.
No, we never knocked on an elderly woman's door, and that's fact. And I can tell you here
well,
right now.
She lives in the house where that other person lived.
The point about this conversation is that you can and
where
do.
Your man's sister lived.
You can and you do get it
that's
wrong.
The door we didn't even touch.
You can and you do.
We went to.
Sorry, you can and you do and you have got it wrong.
We haven't got it wrong.
But I mean, even if what's going on there? Why was everything taken down off Facebook? Everything was taken down.
Right, Nuala, I can see Adrian Nuala's point here, why things are... She's asking why they're taken down, right? Yeah. I will talk to Nuala because Nuala's calm and she's been honest with me. Right, Nuala, I'll tell you what. We put up a post. We were actually approached by a white van with a green stripe with 3 fellas in it and asked to leave the area, right? We left the area because my team's safety.
I live up here over 30 years and I've never seen a white van with a green stripe going around.
Well, the white van has been identified and the guards know about it, okay?
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
We have, and the guards have all the evidence as well of the online grooming, right?
Yeah.
Also, we put the post up, okay? And the reason why we put the post up, if we can't get the predator to come out in the open, we'll expose him online, right? Which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that,
Yes, thank you. We put that up, Nuala, right? And when we put that up, I got an alert on my Facebook. Your post has been removed for violation of community standards from Facebook. And it was deleted. Now, I'm not the only one that's got that. I've had a few people from the Rathfarnham area and that estate has also posted up stuff and have texted me, my post has been removed. That's the only reason that was taken down.
Before I realised what was going on. I posted it myself. It was on my page and it was took down.
Well, you see where the understand where I'm coming from.
But I didn't like the attitude of you, the people in the estate. Pedophiles. I think that's disgraceful because that's really annoying.
Irish Hunter or whatever the hell your name is. Can you understand
that? What I put up. Yes, no, I will.
You shouldn't have said that now.
Sorry, can you understand that you got this wrong? That this man hasn't lived there for over 10 years?
Adrian, what can I do if that's the address he gives us? We didn't knock on that woman's door, first of all. If I wanted to knock on that exact house door, I would have went and done it. And I would have sat in live radio right now and say I done it when I didn't knock on that right door. I didn't go to that door. I asked a member of the community beside
The
them,
fact of the matter
and they
is that
identified them.
the fact of the matter is that groups like yours can be manipulated, can be misled.
They're not manipulated.
Well, you clearly were. If somebody gave you an address.
Us as a vigilante group. We're not a vigilante group. We're all concerned parents.
Do I need to read the definition of vigilante again?
Sorry, lads, I have to go.
Sorry, in Belfast in the 70s, the IRA thought they were doing the job of the police force in the north because they thought they weren't doing the right job.
Now what you're doing is branding my group as a member of the IRA.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah,
but the IRA acted in a vigilante manner in the north.
Right, well, we're not. Well, let me tell you something, Adrian. Your show's going to probably get bombarded now, what you just said. I'm not a member of any group.
I didn't say you were. I didn't say you were. Sorry, hang on for 1 second. Don't misconstrue what I said.
Yes, we are.
I am comparing.
You have just said
I am comparing the work. I am comparing the work of your group being a vigilante group with the work that the IRA did, and they thought they were doing it because the police weren't doing a good enough job. The exact same thing.
So what you're saying is my group and other groups are running around kneecapping and shooting
I didn't say that either.
You did. Well,
I didn't. No.
You have turned round there now.
Okay, can I read exactly? I'm going to read this again until I'm blue in the face. A member of a self-appointed group of citizens who undertake law enforcement in their community without legal authority. That's exactly what the IRA did in Belfast in the 70s.
I don't here. Listen, Adrian. This is 2018, not Belfast in the 70s.
Same definition applies.
If it doesn't apply because we're not a paramilitary group and we're not running around shooting people and we're not doing that.
Stay there for a second, Stephen. You're on 98 FM. Hi, Stephen.
There's about 10 things here that's totally wrong with this. First of all, we'll go with the criminal side of things. They're jeopardizing everything, and I'll give you proof of that. 180 cases last year up the north were presented to the police, the PSNI, and you know how many charges were brought from that, Adrian?
None.
A big fat zero.
Zero, yeah.
A big fat zero.
That is right. You're right there. I agree with you.
I know it's right, because you're jeopardising criminal convictions. Right, that's number one. Hold on, you've been talking there for 20 minutes. Let me say there. But number two is...
Because there wasn't that many cases. There was 77, not 187.
It was 180. Check your facts.
Whatever. We're arguing over numbers here.
Yeah, you can't even get addresses right. They were more than anything else. So that's the whole problem with you here. You're going to get some innocent poor person killed, battered someday, and they're going to sue the arse off you and end up in jail, which is what you deserve for what you're doing.
Let me ask you another question. Irish Hunter. Your group and groups like yours in both the UK and Ireland have received a lot of publicity. A lot of people have seen your videos and all of that, okay? Is there not a risk that by doing... Sorry, hang on. No, that's not what I was going to say. Is there not a risk that by doing what you're doing, you are going to drive these paedophiles deeper underground further away from detection than ever before? Because anybody who is of a mind to be talking to a kid online would be a lunatic to do it now because groups like yours are out to trap them.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you probably are right. And I know what Stephen is saying. I understand what Stephen's saying as well. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Why? You said it the last time I was on your show, Adrian, yourself, that parents need to take more acknowledge on the devices and keep them offline as well. But at the same time, the reason why we're doing this is to try and do the jobs that the police and the Garda can't do. Okay,
you've been involved in a number of these different sting operations.
I have been,
okay.
Yeah, and I've seen
How many of the people that you have done a sting on are now thankfully behind bars and out of circulation?
Honestly, at the minute, none, because the guards...
So what was the point?
The guards are bailing them, the police are bailing them under further investigation.
I'm going to ask you... sorry. And I said this...
I know one case, Adrian, sorry for cutting you off. I know one case at the minute that I've done that the DPP are really interested in. I won't mention it.
One case, and that's fantastic. One's better than none, but...
in your area, and not far from your radio station either.
Okay, sorry, and that's fine. But the point that I'm trying to make is I have a great fear, and the Gardaí have expressed this fear, that you are risking these people being taken off the streets and locked up. Because you're prejudicing their court cases, you're finding them innocent or guilty before being proven guilty in the court of public opinion, And that means when they appear in court, will not get a fair trial.
And at the end of the day, I understand what you're trying to say, right? But if I took you on this thing, right, and you see this man, and I give you the chat logs, and you're reading them, and you're saying,
I'm sure I'd be sick to my stomach. Yes, I'm sure I'd be sick to my stomach. Yeah.
Even the last day, you said it yourself that it was even to what we spoke about the last day. You were nearly sick on your show because of what you were told. And if you see when they're on video, that's also evidence. That's live evidence of a video. Them admitting what they've done, how they've done it, and why they've done it.
I will admit that day I was sick. I was really angry that day. That particular day, everybody was talking about it. I was really annoyed. And
you were actually upset about it.
I was upset about it. And for the whole day, I was telling everybody around me how upset I was about it. I was posting on social media about how upset I was about it. I was really angry about it. But the point that I'm making is that no matter what you're able to show me on paper, I want these people locked away. And the risk is...
Do you want to know whose fault that is? Do you want me to be honest and blunt? And I don't care
if I'm to believe what the police service of this country says, you're at fault because you are risking prejudicing their trials.
Yeah, they're blaming everybody else because they can't do their job. That's what.
Well, stay there for 1 second. One last call on this. And please, Lisa, no names of any particular areas if you don't mind.
Okay.
You know about a particular sting and they did what?
On Friday night, they did a sting in Drogheda, and they called up to the house, and they got the guy to the front of the house, who I know. I'm sorry, I'm nervous, I'm shaking. But they got the guy to the house, and they started loads of people shouting at him and everything, saying he was under arrest, this, that, and the other. Went through loads of information, told him that, asked him, did he have any nieces or nephews, that they knew he had a niece who's 4. This is obviously something that he had written online. I know 100%, 110%, there is no niece in that family. The sister who came to the door and told them to get away from the cars does not have a child. But as a result of all of this, all the Facebook comments and everything has got that poor child, the scumbag family, this, that and the other. And that's not on. That's not acceptable. The house that they called to, the man in that house has a very bad heart. The mother does not be well. She was in bed when it happened. So they've jeopardised the health of the parents of the man.
I'm just reading about this specific story, okay? And here's what the headline was. Gardaí to Peter Hunter's sting in Drogheda. It says the man denied sending pictures to a fake profile, but appeared to change his tone after the hunters showed him logs of the conversation.
But that's because there was a load of people in the driveway of this house all shouting. There was a load of people standing behind the hunters, all shouting and everything. They had to tell everybody to be quiet. And the guy was calm. I'm not standing up for him. I am a little bit because of the way it was done. I don't agree with what they're saying has been done.
Do you believe that this person was in any way trapped? Do you believe that he may...
I do. 100% I feel he was trapped. Definitely. At the front of the house. Being intimidated.
Sorry, that wasn't really the question I was trying to ask. The question I was really trying to ask is, were they right? Was this man engaged in conversation with these groups?
I don't know, but that's up for the guards to find out. But the stuff that they were reading out from their so-called chat logs by these decoys, one of the decoys actually tried to send a friend request to his brother an hour after the guards took him away. And by the way, the guards did not arrest him. 8 guards turned up to the house, brought him into a room, and they said, look, for your safety, for your family's safety and the safety of the home, we need to take you away here. They did not arrest him. He was not arrested. Do you know what I mean? So,
okay, but hang on. Again, I'll read what it said. This is on the Mirror. It said the man appeared to change his tone after the hunters showed him logs of the conversation. Now,
that's because he was scared as well for himself. He was scared for his family, scared for his parents inside. He didn't know what. He was being bombarded. He was being bullied and shouted at. Do you know what I mean? So things that were said, because it's live online, the area that this house is and the area is close to it, there's an awful lot of there's a risk, there's an element of not such a nice area, if you know what I mean. Some people, obviously there's a lot of lovely people up there as well, but all these gangs of youths turning up and everything and threatening him and intimidating, of course you're going to change your tone because you're scared. Do you know what I mean? If you had a load of people turn up at your house shouting and everything, your tone would change. He didn't know what was going on.
Let me get my part across. First of all, when we got into the estate...
Okay, now, sorry, I have to be very careful about not identifying this estate, okay?
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Whenever we get into the housing estate, like a Garda car pulled up beside us and asked us what we were doing. And then we're told. They drove out of the estate. We walked over to the address that we had for him because within 10 minutes before that, he was still engaging in conversation with our decoy, by the way, who was only 12. Once we got to the door,
so you actually used the 12-year-old?
No, they use fake accounts.
Okay, so he wasn't only 12.
Yes.
He was. Let me finish. You get right. Once we got to the door, he answered the door himself.
Because his parents aren't well.
No. His parents and his father and his mother came out of the door and spoke to us also.
His mother came down the stairs out of her bed, and his father was inside, who doesn't be well.
That was his sister that come down the stairs. It's irrelevant who come to the door.
Yes. This particular person, do you believe you were right?
Yes, we were right.
Okay. Was he arrested?
He was taken away by special branch and
Was he arrested?
Was he arrested?
Yeah, he was taken under investigation.
Was he arrested?
He was told, will you shut your mouth and let me finish? You talking.
Sorry, I am now ending this conversation because I don't like your tone. I don't like the way you've spoken to me. I don't like your bad language. I don't like the way you've talked to our listeners.
This is how they do on their Facebook pages as well.
I will state that your aggressive tone scares me for the future of your group. It really does.
Adrian, what I'm trying to say to you is when we turned up at the door, we showed the fella asked. He said himself, there wasn't a big group there at the very start. Yes, neighbours and all started coming out and all young guys started coming out. I told my security, get them away from this house because at the end of the day, our lives have to protect that fella now because of what he has done wrong. On our way down
your security, are they qualified security people? Have they had background checks and everything?
Yes, we have. Everybody's done that. We wouldn't have anybody on our team, Lisa, if they weren't.
Okay, but I'm not on about just Garda vetting. I'm on about like full background checks.
We're kind of getting off. Lisa, they're a vigilante group. That's the point that I was trying to make.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally. The way he even spoke to me there live online proves what they are and what they're all about.
Because you're insinuating that this guy was innocent when he's not.
I'm not insinuating that. And I know him. I know him very well.
Sorry, Irish Hunter. The fact of the matter is, everybody. Regardless of what kind... Everybody, regardless of any conversation they might have had with an alleged 13 or 14-year-old, is innocent until a court of law in this country finds them guilty, not you. Not you.
I know that. I'm not saying that you're wrong saying that. I know you're not wrong in saying that. But...
Okay, but the fact of the matter is that I genuinely believe you've done yourself no justice today because you have literally proven the point that I made earlier on that your group and groups like yours are vigilante groups, plain and simple.
They're not groups. They're not vigilante groups. They're doing the thing of protecting children online, and that's what they're doing. They're protecting from predators. At the end of the day, he sent a masturbation video to the decoy just as we turned around the corner. If people want to see the evidence, you know what I mean, and the guards don't want to do nothing, we can show it to them.
All right, well, that's what I would urge you all to do is to deal directly with the Gardaí because they are the police force of this country, whether we like it or not, or whether we think they do a good enough job or not. This is 98FM's Dublin Talks.
The show getting Dublin talking.
Every morning from 10.
Adrian Kennedy.
Dublin Talks on 98FM.